Imagine if you could literally see death coming. What if red lines appeared above people's heads to mark their fate? Welcome to the world of S-Line, where seeing is both a gift and a curse. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Movie Recaps Hub Podcast. Today we're diving into Season 1, Episode 1 of the brand new 2025 Korean drama series S-Line. Grab a snack, get comfy, and let's unravel every mysterious twist together. So, the episode opens on Shin, who jolts awake late at night to the roar of a car engine and her own name echoing in her mind. She tiptoes to her window, yes, the one totally plastered with cardboard to block out the outside world, and peeks out. There's her neighbor Shin, heading off to school, and over Shin's head floats a single, glowing red line. Cut back inside. Shin cleans off a spot in her window and spots another new girl on the street, this one with dozens of red lines swirling above her. The girl gives Shin a friendly wave, but Shin is too spooked to wave back. She slams the window shut and retreats into her dim apartment. Safe inside, Shin sits down to eat and turn on the TV. And then she opens up to us. Since she was a kid, she's been able to see these red lines. As she grew up, she realized these lines mean only one thing: death. She remembers seeing them on her father, right before her mother plunged a knife into him. The trauma drove Shin to try ending her life, jumping off rooftops, wrist cuts, even hanging herself, but each time, some unseen force saved her and her wounds miraculously healed. Now alone in her apartment, she's determined to crack the mystery. What creates these red lines? Who else can see them? How can she break this curse? Deep in thought, Shin is startled by the doorbell. Through the peephole, she sees the new girl from before, Shin introducing herself and explaining she just moved in next door. She even leaves a basket of fruit as a friendly gesture. Shin hesitates, then opens the door, takes the fruit, and eats. It's clear she hasn't tasted something so fresh in ages. Meanwhile, across town, we meet Detective Juk, who also happens to be Shin's uncle. He's at a murder scene. A young woman has been killed. Her place spotless except for a pile of takeout boxes, but none of the money inside was taken. And there's no sign of a struggle. A neighbor reported seeing a helmeted man like a delivery driver fleeing the scene. Juk and his partner Dong-sik dig into the victim's life. She'd ended a relationship a year ago, and oddly, hadn't ordered any food that day, breaking her usual pattern. That night, Shin orders her own takeout and flips on the news. They're covering the third murder in the neighborhood. On screen, the same helmeted delivery guy. And yes, he has a single red line floating above his head. Shin's heart pounds as she spots him outside her window, disappearing into the building across the street. Her phone, which has been dead, springs back to life. She dials 911 and then stops herself when she realizes the delivery guy is simply visiting Shin, his girlfriend. She hangs up, but a second red line appears, then a third, until dozens swirl around Shin. Panicked, she backs away from the window. Next morning, at school, Shin's locker is broken into by bullies led by Kim Hae. They taunt Shin about a mysterious love letter they found, mocking and pushing her around, reminding her not to think she's safe just because her uncle's a cop. Later, Shin storms home to find Juk relaxing on his balcony. He notices bruises on her face and presses her for answers. Shin demands money instead, then slams her bedroom door. As he watches, he sees Shin's window boarded up across the street, and gets a call. Someone from that apartment reported a suspicious delivery man. Juk rushes over and knocks on Shin's door. She watches him through the window as he explains he's investigating that 911 call. When she finally opens up, she admits she thought the delivery guy was about to kill Shin, only to learn they were just a couple. Juk gently asks why she never goes to school and where her parents are. Shin shuts the door without answering. Back with Juk and Dong-sik, they discover the murdered women all knew a gym teacher named Jong-min, the same man spotted at each crime scene. As Juk rushes off to check on his missing father at the hospital, Dong-sik heads to Jong-min's apartment only to find the door ajar and red paint smeared on the wall. Suddenly, Jong-min springs out, beats Dong-sik unconscious, and whispers, "Only one left now," before disappearing into the night, helmet on and red line glowing. Late again, Shin sees the helmeted killer approaching her building. Her phone dies just as she grabs a knife and stumbles downstairs. She faints at the sight of him, but in her blackout, she sees her mother's bloody hand reaching for her. Cut to the girl across the hall opening her door, only to be strangled by Jongmin. Shin, snapping back to consciousness, charges forward and stabs him in the leg. Just as he raises his knife again, Juk bursts in and shoots him. As he dies, Jongmin gasps, "The red lines, they're disappearing." Police swarm the hallway. Shin is treated, and Juk returns her glasses. She asks who Jongmin really was, and Juk promises to tell her later. Shin arrives, teasing Shin for wearing sunglasses at night, but neither girl explains how they know each other. That evening, on a rooftop, Shin reflects. Maybe seeing the red lines isn't just about predicting death, it could save lives. She removes her glasses and sees red lines everywhere. Suddenly, her phone buzzes with a message. "I can see the world you're seeing. Come to Ark High School." And just like that, episode 1 ends. Who knew that was a whirlwind? What do you think is behind those red lines? Drop your theories in the comments below. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this breakdown. And don't forget to subscribe to Movie Recaps Hub podcast for more weekly deep dives. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you in the next episode.